Welcome back to Wizard Supercoach. If you watched last night's video, you might remember me saying that I was going to do a team update, or at least hopefully do one today. Things have actually lined up for once, and I have managed to do that. I found half an hour ago, I kind of settled on this team, and it's one of two versions, but it's the one that I'm probably more confident on. I won't go through the other version, but I will talk about it a little bit later on. But with this version here, basically, there's not a hell of a lot of difference to the team update that I did about 3 weeks ago. It's really only the rookies that have changed, and then one primo that's come out of one line and become a primo on another. So when I've been saying that I'm trying to stick to my guns, I really am. No knee-jerk reactions to stuff with primos that we're seeing in the practice games. So kind of proud of that for now. But there is a week to go, and anything could happen between now and the actual lockout. So I'll start from the back. As is tradition, Nas just picks himself. He's got a whole team trying to give him the ball. You can't buy that. I mean, you can for 622k, but you know what I mean. And then Rosie, I was obviously a little bit skeptical, maybe losing a little bit of confidence there when Josh Carr said that he'd play more midfield. But, you know, they've got that easy run. You have to tell yourself that even if he is in the midfield more than half back, he's probably just going to tear up against those teams. And then you've got Wines and Bergman coming back. So then he'll probably end up, once they're back, like more at half back anyway. So that's all good. McKercher is now D3. He was D4. I don't expect you to remember my last update or anything, but yeah, that's what he was. Now, I had Blakey in that spot at D3, and I'm still really bullish on Blakey, but I can't accommodate him because of the which buy is it? One of them, is it round 3 buy or round 4? The one that's got like Bont and all that in it. So basically, in the end, it come down to, am I more confident on Heaney or Blakey? And I think I'm more confident on Heaney, so he wins the spot sort of thing. So yeah, D4, because I moved Blakey out and he became a primo on another line, I've had to replace him with a rookie. So Blakey's gone out for Grill, and I'm not mega confident on any of these rookies right now. They're kind of just placeholders, but Grill's meant to be defense. The good thing is, Grill's more of an inflated price, so if I do need to get out of it, I can get out of it pretty quickly without having to upset the structure of the team. Like, not once the season started, but I mean, yeah, before lockout and stuff, we'll know. And then I did have Gibcus, but he's gone as well, purely because I don't think he can score, and he's at like, what, nearly 140k, 130k, something like that. So he's slightly elevated price. I'm not confident that he's even going to go at like a 60 average, and that's if he stays fit. So I'm not going there. I'm going a little bit left field. I'm going Charlie Edwards from the Crom, and I'm hoping that I can somehow find another defensive rookie that I like from somewhere. So hopefully something pops up, and I can get Edwards in the midfield instead, so that he's got that DPP link with Grill. But yeah, Edwards, the reason I'm picking him, if the Crom are ever going to play young midfielders, it's now, with all the injuries and stuff that they've got. I know that the job security might be shaky, like there's some guys to come back like Rankin and that quite early, but he might be able to keep his spot in the team. And I think there's a lot of pressure from Crom fans on Nix, and probably pressure from the wider footy community in general, for the Crom to fix their midfield. Like, it's the one, pretty much the only thing now that's letting them down. They're strong at either end, and they've now got a half decent ruck. So yeah, rather than Nick's just backing in the same old, which is quite frustrating. Like, yeah, if he's ever going to do it, it's going to be now. And if he doesn't, then the club has problems with the coach, I think, or whoever's picking this stuff. But Edwards should be all right. He got the second most CBAs behind Rochelle in the practice match, and he's got pretty good numbers in the sample and stuff. So yeah, he's in. Could also be Bond as well, who's been playing like back pocket, but he's more of a lockdown, so I don't think he'd have the scoring power that Edwards has. I'm not saying Edwards is going to be a world beater or nothing, but I think, yeah, out of the two, Edwards would have the better role if he's in the team. So Sarong and Lindsay, they're still the same. I did have Euland, and I took him out because I'm not convinced that the scoring ability matches up with the 200k price tag. I am confident though that he's going to get a game in round 0. I'm very confident on that. So we get a free look at him at least. So if he actually does good in round 0, then I'll re-look at that. So he could come back in, and yeah, then I could move Edwards to the midfield. So keep an eye on that. As I said, all these rookies, they're kind of just placeholders. But he's gone, and Jakes is in for now. Shaky job security, I think. If he'd come from the Dogs VFL team, then I'd think he'd have pretty good job security, seeing as Bevo loves those players. But yeah, I mean, there's not a hell of a lot to choose from, I think. So you kind of just got to back them in for now. And they're just placeholders, can hopefully get out of it without having to upset too much. So in the midfield, Bont, the guy picks himself. I'm not messing around with this one. Yeah, you can get him discounted, but like, you're not going to get the scores along the way, and it's still a lot of money to pay up. Can't see him dropping below like 650, something like that. So, if you want to wait, you're playing a big gamble. I think the probability is that he's not going to drop. And if he does, it's not going to be quickly. Butters, the guy picks himself. Look at his game. He would have gone 200, I think, in a regular game against West Coast in that practice. But yeah, he's got the really good run to begin with. I think just lock him in, throw away the key. He's probably the biggest lock right now. So M3, this is the big change for me. So Blakey out, and I've chucked in Dacos. So he's got a good run to begin with as well. And I don't think I've ever started him before. And watching him when he's in full flight is really bloody hard. It can completely ruin a game for me. And I quite like watching games as a neutral. But yeah, that's a hard one. So I've put him in. He's going to be like top 4 mids, I reckon, top 5 mids. Just, again, like Bont and Butters, just lock him in and get it done. He's coming up, I think, in round 1 and 3 against the Crom and Giants, depleted midfields. So there's that. And then he's got Brisbane, I think, after that, which he normally does really well against Brisbane. It's not really until round 9, I think, that he's going to come up against any kind of real problem, which is Geelong. We know that their taggers are really good. So, yeah, should get probably the first 8 weeks out of him. It's just a shame he's got that buy-in round 2, I think. So, yeah, that's fine. Heaney, Young, Parrish, they were already there in the team. Sharp and Smith as well. I don't really need to talk about these guys. Yeah, Young and Parrish, they're not safe. They could become a primo and a rookie. That's basically the only difference between this team and the other version that I mentioned. So no need to really go through that. And then the whole midfield bench has changed based on the practice games. So Brody was there. He's gone. Well, he kind of became Dacos anyway, but it's hard to keep up when there's these changes on different lines. I did have Chase Jones in here after the first trial game against Port because he looked really good. And then he got like 5 touches against Fremantle. So taking him out again. If he's named though, I'll probably play him. If he's named in round 1, he can actually score. I think that was just a really bad game for him. We know that, on the wing, you can kind of get stuck on one side and the ball's on the other. No excuse for 5 touches though. But yeah, watch that one. So Draper for the Crom, he came out, and I've chucked in Carroll on the bench. Where is he? I mean, if he gives us a 60, oh wait, it's meant to be Dacos. Sorry. If he gives us a 60, like a 60 average, he's going to make more than enough. Might be a slow burn. All he's got to do is stay in the team, really, and he should be fine. Not expecting big scores out of him, but that's fine. You don't need everyone to go crazy. I had Rechko as well. He wasn't named in the last practice match there against, who they play? Was it Melbourne? So yeah, his job security obviously is non-existent. So instead of him, got Watkins. So a 99k rookie it's a bloody godsend, I tell you. Is he going to play? I don't know. So I said in last night's video, we were all happy to take the punt on Brody if he got named early with the midfield injuries at Port. I don't know if you call them injuries, but yeah, what's Wines doing? Is he injured or just out of favour? I don't know. Oh, he's suspended, isn't he? So he's coming back. Bergman's coming back. But yeah, I think if you're willing to ride that Brody wave, why not go with Watkins as well? Like, it's pretty clear that he's ahead of Brody in the pecking order. So same logic applies, and he's cheaper too. So for now, he's in there. I've also got like 40k in the bank just in case I need to get out of these 99k rookies. The other one was Finn McRae. He's gone. I didn't like the look of his game yesterday, even though I think he had about 20 touches. It's more the job security for me. I think West Coast have a lot of that kind of player. Yeah, wait and see. If he's named, then maybe, but this guy was super impressive yesterday. Blamires or Blamires, or I don't know. I've heard people say both. I say Blamires for now. But yeah, he looked great. Clarko would be insane to not play him. So he makes the cut, another 99k rookie. And then, yeah, the ruck line hasn't changed for me. So Gawn, Cherry, too much is being made of the ruck rules. I've said it all along. And one big thing for me was I read on Twitter last night. I can't remember who posted it, but there was 0.9 less stoppages, like ruck contests, than the same time last year. So basically, this year we've averaged one less ruck contest than pre-season last year. So the rules aren't doing that much at all. And I've said it all along, it's just a case of practice games. They're open games with less repeated stoppages and stuff. So I wouldn't worry. I'm backing in Gawn and Cherry for now. Yeah, they haven't moved. I don't know. I just don't want to mess around with the ruck line at all. I think just back these two in. Might consider Grundy if he goes nuts, but then there's the buy problem and stuff. These two don't have the buy, so yeah, I think they're good. I'll just back them in. White could change. I really like to have that loophole. And I know that with the buy rounds, you get the 3 buy rounds or whatever it is at the start. There's going to be obviously loopholes in each round there, but I don't want to be counting on the other times. So like round 1, there's no buys. Maybe it would be better if we know there's like someone that's coming back from injury in the ruck. I don't know if they exist, but you get them in early just to cover that first game there as a loophole. Maybe the Geelong ruck. I don't know. I'm sure he'll get games eventually. But yeah, it's hard. Like, what do you preference? A money maker, someone that might make a little bit. Like, think of Archer Reed last year, or do you just want that permanent loophole? I don't know. I prefer the loophole. I think it's pretty bloody important to nail your captain each week, and I wouldn't like the thought of not having a loophole option every week. So yeah, you can see the forward line's not really changed. Sheasel, just lock him in. He's a freak. Petrarca, he's got the easy run to begin with, and no row for a couple of weeks and stuff, so he should get plenty of CBAs. Just needs to stop butchering it. Flanders looks back to his filthy pig best from 2024. Philippou, for that price, he's going to clean up if he can stay fit. Lombard looks like good on-field option. Should play. No worries. Like, job security looks good. I think he's got a wing lockdown. A wing or that half-forward role. Something like that. It's hard to tell when you're watching sometimes. And then Dev Rob, he looked good yesterday. He started out a bit quiet, but, we don't need him to score heaps. He's probably going to get a good run in the midfield there, so I think lock him in with confidence. Marshall did come out of my team after the practice game against the Crom. He had like 2 touches in a half. Yeah, still a little bit worried about him. I don't think he's an on-field option, and I explained why in last night's video. I'm not going to go through it again, but yeah, I think he's fine to go on the bench. So yeah, he found his way back into the team. I can't remember who I took out for him. Now, I did have Reedy as F8. and I'm not interested in that pick at all. He was kind of just there as a placeholder anyway, but I moved him out 2 weeks ago after watching his first hit out. He's not up to it yet. He might be a decent player one day, but right now he's not looking good. So I've replaced him with Toby Murray from the Crom. Murray at least looks like he can play. It's a similar role. He's going to be like the backup ruck and then play some forward and stuff, but at least he can find the ball. I think he'll do all right, actually. And again, at that price, like, we don't need him to go crazy. Even like a 50 average or something is going to make us 100k, so it's all good. Yeah, he might change. See what's named in round one, but I'm pretty confident that the Crom are going to go with the McAndrew and Murray tandem act. Especially with the new rules, you want to try and keep Thilthorpe out of the ruck as much as possible. Otherwise, that's a PCL waiting to happen. So, yeah, pretty confident on Murray. There's no chance that they play McAndrew and Rob together, at least, because I don't think either of them are decent up forward. Certainly not Rob. So that's pretty much it. You can kind of tell that I'm going for the more guns and rookies kind of thing. McKercher will probably be like top 8, top 10, maybe. Not totally sold on him, but yeah, I think he'll be alright. It's really just Young and Parrish that I'm a little bit worried about. But as I said, if I end up going with the other version of this team, then they become a primo and a rookie. It's just finding the rookies the hard part. And then yeah, we're all good. Then we're only really looking at McKercher as a mid-pricer. I don't count like Flanders and Philippou or anyone as mid-pricers. Philippou's priced like a rookie. He won't score like one if he stays fit. But Flanders, he's just a fallen primo. He's not really a mid-pricer. Like, we know what he's like when he's at his best. And yeah, looks like he's back to that. So I class him more as a keeper primo. Everyone's got a different definition, it seems. But yeah, that's it. That's the team. I've gotten through it under 20 minutes, which is good for me because I can definitely ramble on once I get on a roll. I just love talking about footy. That's why I've got the channel. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I've tried not to take the buys into account too much, especially after listening to a lot of the past winners say that they didn't with their starting teams. I mean, you can always, if you have 1 week where you're down, it just means you're going to be up in other weeks. So it's all a balancing act. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know in the comments what you think. If anyone's popped out for you that's kind of come from the clouds. I mean, there'd have to be some after watching the practice games. But yeah, as always, I really, really enjoy the comments and the back and forth. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll do a proper team reveal before the first lockout, I think. Should know what we're doing by then. I would hope so. So yeah, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next video.